There's been an art challenge floating around the internet for a few years, where you redraw a character in different styles, and I decided to give it a try. I chose myself as the designated character and picked 10 art styles that inspire me, taking on the challenge of drawing each one. I'm starting out with my own art style. I'm not including this as one of the 10 styles, but rather I'm using it as a reference point. I actually like to think that I don't have an established art style. I think the fun of being an artist is having an ever-changing and experimental approach to it. That being said, there are still key elements I like to incorporate in my art whenever I draw. This includes using bright colors, over-exaggerated expressions, and loose, untidy line work. Panty and Stalking is a TV show that's edgy humor really resonated with me when I first discovered it in middle school. I really admired the angular shape language of the character designs, and how the simplicity of the art style did not make the animation any less interesting or pleasing to look at. I went into this drawing thinking this art style was going to be the easiest out of all 10. However, once I got to the actual line art, I realized it was going to be a more difficult drawing than I thought. The line art in Panty and Stalking is very angular, and the line weight varies. This proved to be a bit of a challenge for me, but in the end, I think it turned out alright. TOLIET-BOUND HANAKO-KUN is a manga that became relatively popular with artists during the COVID era. The manga panels are uniquely intricate, and the official art is just so mesmerizing. There was also an anime adaptation for it, however, I never saw it, so when looking for reference, I mostly took to the official art in the manga covers. I actually expected this one to be a lot harder, but I ended up feeling a sense of freedom regarding the line art that I cannot say I felt while drawing in the Panty and Stalking art style. Overall, I found myself enjoying working on this one. Just last year, in 2023, the Scott Pilgrim franchise came back as an animated series. I chose to draw in the art style of the animated series specifically. I didn't have much difficulty with this one, especially since I already had experience drawing myself in this style, as I had attempted it back when the series first came out. I think out of all the styles I ended up tackling, this one is the closest to how I usually draw. Vibrant, cartoony, and expressive. I played the Cookie Run Kingdom mobile game pretty religiously back in 2021. I tried to revisit it recently, however, I was just way too overwhelmed by all the new updates. That being said, I thought drawing myself as a cookie would be a funny idea. Out of all the styles I chose to work with, this one was probably the most simplistic. I think it turned out super cute. Most artists can relate to growing up watching Ghibli movies. There's something so whimsical about them that makes them stand out from most other animated films. While the animation style itself is relatively simple, it's the complexity of certain character designs that truly make Ghibli films shine. Since my character design isn't heavy on decoration, the result feels simple and sweet. For my SPLATOON drawing, I was not looking at the game characters themselves, but rather the official art. It's made in this insanely cool lineless style, with incredibly vibrant colors that I just love. Out of all the styles I chose, this one is definitely the one I would love to study even more after this challenge. I think out of all 10 drawings, this one turned out to be my favorite. I think Mob Psycho 100 has a unique and goofy art style that stands out from most anime. The characters' ears and hands are disproportionately large, and their eyes are surprisingly simple compared to typical anime designs. I love this show. It's silly, fun, and refreshing. The distinct art style makes it even more enjoyable, and the opening credits are a particular favorite of mine. Star vs. the Forces of Evil was one of my favorite cartoons when I was in middle school. I very much resonated with Star as a character. I don't really have much to say about the style of this one. It's just very reminiscent of mid-2010s cartoon aesthetics. This one was a little difficult to make unique, as the style is very cut and dry. I wanted to throw Neon Genesis Evangelion in here, and specifically looking at the art from the 90s anime just because I love the show and I wanted to give a 90s anime art style a shot. This one was pretty simple, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I even tried to add some textures to make it look straight out of a 90s animated show. I wanted to end this challenge on a silly note. I'm a huge fan of Nintendo games and always took me designing way too seriously. In fact, my me design has remained unchanged since I first created it back in 2007. For this drawing, I kept some of those original features, like the upturned nose and the half-circle eyes. I think it looks really cute. I thought to myself while finishing up this challenge that it wouldn't be fully completed until I tried to replicate my character's outfit in real life too. So I did some internet shopping and bought some items. I was able to find most of the elements that were in my drawing, however some of the colors were a little bit off. I'd originally meant to buy leg warmers that were darker in color. I think this outfit would have matched up better if I had either gotten leg warmers that matched the color of the skirt or a skirt that matched the color of my leg warmers. So here's a conveyor belt of all the final drawings. It's a bit blurry here, but I will be posting them on my Instagram. It's middoves, it's the same username as here on YouTube.